लड़कों की उंगली पे नाचे है ज़माना। ओ लड़कों की उंगली पे नाचे है ज़माना। सिंपल ये फंडा है कुड़ियों को बताना। लुटे नहीं लुट जाए, जीते नहीं पट जाए, कुड़ियां है जेबों में रख ले। कुड़ियां नु ठग ले, ठग ले, कुड़ियां नु ठग ले, ठग ले, कुड़ियां नु ठग ले, ठग ले, ठग ले, ठग ले, ठग ले, कुड़ियां नु ठग ले, ठग ले, कुड़ियां नु ठग ले, ठग ले, कुड़ियां नु ठग ले, ठग ले, ठग ले, ठग ले, ठग ले।
लड़कों को लगता है इसी जीत जाना। लड़कों को लगता है इसी जीत जाना। इस बार उनको हरा के है दिखाना। बड़ी बड़ी हाके हैं, यूं ही हवा फाके हैं, जेबें भरी खाली है अकले। मुंडियां नु ठग ले, ठग ले, मुंडियां नु ठग ले, ठग ले, मुंडियां नु ठग ले, ठग ले, ठग ले, ठग ले, ठग ले, मुंडियां नु ठग ले, ठग ले, मुंडियां नु ठग ले।
गीत कॉल जरूरी जाना, गीत कॉल जरूरी जाना। दिल लाले अबे परवा दे नाल, लाले अबे परवा दे नाल, दिल लाले अबे परवा दे नाल, दिल लाले अबे परवा दे नाल। तू बोल आजा मेरे ओ बेवफा सैया, या मिलने वास्ते तू मुझको भेज दे नैया। तू बोल आजा मेरे ओ बेवफा सैया, या मिलने वास्ते तू मुझको भेज दे नैया।
हे हे चलो ना ढूंढे शहर एक नया, जहाँ मुस्कुराहटे हैं बिखरी, जहाँ से गम का मौसम गया, जहाँ मीठी बातें हर एक अजनबी से हो। भूले हम भी जो सारी फिक्रें, लम्हा लम्हा खुशियाँ बिखरे। इधर उधर और यहाँ वहाँ, जाए वही दिल कहे जहाँ। Baby, 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 हम धड़कने, दिल जैसे धड़के धड़कने दो। क्यों है कोई आग नबी, शोला जो भड़के भड़कने दो। चलो ना
बेखबर बेखबर वो कश्तियाँ हमारी यूं टकरा गई। लहर लहर दोनों का दिल बेसफर बेसफर बेसफर। हाँ डूबे, हाँ डूबे, हाँ डूबे एक तुझे में यहाँ। हाँ डूबे, हाँ डूबे, हाँ डूबे उफ ये गहराइयाँ। हाँ डूबे, हाँ डूबे, हाँ डूबे एक तुझे में यहाँ। है सांसों में समंदर, है दिल में धुआं। बेसबर शामों सहर दोनों का दिल बेखबर बेखबर बेखबर
देखो अरमान कहे अपनी हद से बढ़ गए
तेरी बाहों में से खो गए ख्वाबों का जादू बेकाबू हो गए ख्वाबों का जादू जादू दिल से यूं लगा दूं बेकाबू हो गए तेरी बाहों में ऐसे खो गए तेरी रातों में ऐसे खो गए जैसे दिन से हम खफा हो गए
देखो तारे अंगीने रग रग में जलने लगे
तेरी रातों में ऐसे खो गए ख्वाबों का जादू बेकाबू हो गए ख्वाबों का जादू जादू दिल से यूं लगा दूं बेकाबू हो गए खराब करे गलती बेहिसाब करे दो पल की जो नींद उड़ी आ पूरे सारे ख्वाब करे क्या करने उम्रों के वादे ये जो रहते हैं रहने दे आगे दो बार नहीं एक बार सही एक रात की कर ले तू यारी सुबह तक मांगे मेरी बात तू ऐसे सोचना थी आज ये घुंघरू टूट गए ये घुंघरू टूट गए
छोड़ के शामों मैं ऐसे सोचना चाहिए आज
ये घुंघरू ये घुंघरू
नाम को बस तेरे शाम सवेरे रबों ने पुकारा लौट के ना जाना अगर तुम माना जो मिलने दोबारा तुझको बुलाने भेजी है शामें अब करना बहाना नहीं
सात समंदर पार मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे आ गई मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे आ गई सात समंदर पार मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे आ गई मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे आ गई
तेरी हर बात की मुझको है खबर और पास आना मैं बेसबर साथ तेरा ना छोड़ूं नेवर मैं तेरा हम सफर तू मेरी लवर
मैंने दूर से देखा हो तो लगी मुझे रेखा ने भी मुझको देखा वरना देखा न देखा
बोली लगते हो अच्छे घर के
मुड़ मुड़ के न देख मुझे मुड़ मुड़ के मुड़ मुड़ के न देख मुझे मुड़ मुड़ के
वो जनार खड़ी थी सारे बड़ी बेकार खड़ी थी मैंने भी तो पास में जाके बोला हम सहारनपुर के
मुड़ के न देख मुझे मुड़ मुड़ के मुड़ मुड़ के न देख मुझे मुड़ मुड़ के मुड़ मुड़ के न देख देख मुड़ मुड़ के न देख मुड़ मुड़ के न देख देख मुड़ मुड़ के न
तेरी
देख
चुनरी सताए मुझे उड़ उड़ के तेरी चुनरी सताए रानी उड़ उड़ के
मेरी चुनरी सताए तुझे उड़ उड़ के मेरी चुनरी सताए तुझे उड़ उड़ के
गीता रीटा मामा सीता नाम बता तो समझ नहीं आता मैथमेटिक्स का अल्फा बीटा, हंसते भी हो चोरी चोरी, प्यार का तुमको है तरीका, फोटो भेजो सारी की सारी, वाईफाई ले लो फ्री का।
दिल के समंदर में कश्ती घुमाते हो तुम, पक्का डूबोगे हमको यकीन, तुम तो शिकारी हो, तीर चलाते हो, हम ऐसी बातों में आते नहीं।
तेरी 16 की जवानी है, मैं तेरा राजा और तुम मेरी रानी है।
तेरी मेरी रातों ने किए हैं कुछ इरादे, मिली है जो अब ये मुलाकातें, कोई जादू होने को है।
तेरी मेरी हुई आँखों में जो बातें, मिली है जो अब ये मुलाकातें, कोई जादू होने को है।
होना है जो होना है, रहेगा होके ही,
होता है जो मिल जाता है कोई,
होगा ये जाना मैंने मिलके तुमसे ही। Are you feeling it tonight? I'm feeling it tonight. Bang bang, रात भर बात कर तू मेरे साथ चल, दिल पे चला है जादू जाने क्यों। Bang bang,
रात भर बात कर तू मेरे साथ चल, दिल पे चला है जादू जाने क्यों।
bang bang, bang bang, bang bang, जाने क्यों। Bang bang,
पानी से ज्यादा प्यास है तेरी, हालत क्या कर दी तूने मेरी, आके भर ले मुझको बाहों में, सांसें निकल ना जाए मेरी, दिल रूठा मेरी महबूबा मेरी, आँखों में तेरी दिल मेरा डूबा, बाकी कुछ ना देता दिखाई, जुल्फे जब तूने गिराई, देखे तू तो हो जाऊं पागल, झूले तू तो होती तबाही, आंखों में कैसी कसक है मुझको बस तेरी सनक है, परवाने भी देते गवाही, झूले तू तो होती तबाही। झूले तू तो होती तबाही। झूले तू तो होती तबाही। कब तक करूं मैं तेरे तरले, जो भी करना चाहती है कर ले, दुनिया मरती फिरती है हम पे, तू भी थोड़ा थोड़ा तो मर ले। ओ मेरे सनम अब निकले है दम, ये तेरे करम, मरने से बस इतना सा दूर हूँ मैं, कुछ भी नहीं चांद और सितारे चेहरे के आगे तुम्हारे, तुझसे दूर रह के भलाई, झूले तू तो होती तबाही, सर पे बस तेरा जुनू है, तू आफत तू ही सुकून है, परवाने भी देते गवाही, झूले तू तो होती तबाही। झूले तू तो होती तबाही। Boy.
मुझको ही न खबर, चोरी चोरी छुप छुप कर मुझको ही न खबर, चोरी चोरी छुप छुप कर कब प्यार की पहली नजर हाय ले गई ले गई दिल ले गई ले गई ले गई दिल ले गई ले गई ले गई दिल ले गई ले गई ले गई ले गई दिल ले गई ले गई बिखरी बिखरी जुल्फें ये बहकी बहकी चाल हाल ये मेरा देखेंगे पूछेंगे लोग सवाल बिखरी बिखरी जुल्फें ये बहकी बहकी चाल हाल ये मेरा देखेंगे पूछेंगे लोग सवाल अब जाऊं मैं कैसे घर चोरी चोरी छुप छुप कर कब प्यार के पहली नजर हाय ले गई ले गई दिल ले गई ले गई ले गई ले गई दिल ले गई
के बस तू ही प्यार के काबिल सारा जहां है निकम्मा
बीन बजाती हुई नागिन वो बदल गया
मैं से मीना से न साकी से मैं से मीना से न साकी से न पैमाने से दिल बहलता है मेरा आपके आ जाने से आपके आ जाने से आपके आ जाने से आपके आ जाने से आपके आ जाने से
गुल से गुचो से न बुलबुल के गुल से गुचो से न बुलबुल के गुनगुनाने से दिल बहलता है मेरा आपके आ जाने से आपके आ जाने से आपके आ जाने से आपके आ जाने से आपके आ जाने से
Love makes the world go round. Listen up, this is the sound. It makes you move with me. Beat the start and then go on. Rhythm's taking us beyond. Come take a chance on me.
Sound of disco. San Francisco, the sound of disco. San Francisco.
ख्वाब में जन्नत का नक्शा आ गया जब सामने
तुझसे क्यों आजकल क्या हुआ दिल को मेरे क्या हुआ देखा है जब से तुझे क्यों देर हुआ क्या हुआ दिल को मेरे क्या हुआ देखा है जब से तुझे क्यों तेरा हुआ तू ही है मेरी जिंदगी चुराया है किस्मत से तुझे संग तेरे अब जीना है अंजाम की परवाह नहीं हम भी हाँ होंगे वहाँ तू होगा जहाँ क्या हुआ दिल को मेरे क्या हुआ देखा है जब से तुझे क्यों तेरा हुआ
तो झूमो तो नाचो तो झूमो तो नाचो हाँ मेरे साथ नाचो Oh, I am a disco dancer. I am a disco dancer. Oh, जिंदगी मेरा गाना मैं
ये भी न जाने वो भी न जाने नैनों के रंग नैना जाने मिला जो संग तेरा पूरा पतंग मेरा हवा में हो के मलंग जग के कोई रीत न जाने मैं तो बस तेरी हुई दीवानी मिला जो संग तेरा पूरा पतंग मेरा हवा में हो के मलंग मैं छोड़ा ही दरबार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना अब तू ही है संसार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना ये पागल सा है प्यार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना मैं छोड़ा ही दरबार मेरा ओ मखना छोड़ा ही दरबार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना अब तू ही है संसार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना ये पागल सा है प्यार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना मैं छोड़ा ही दरबार मेरा ओ मखना हमारी न मानो बच्चों से पूछो हमारी न मानो सैया हमारी न मानो बच्चों से पूछो जिसने हाँ जिसने अशरफी कैसे देना दो पत्ता मेरा जिसने अशरफी कैसे देना दो पत्ता मेरा इन्हीं लोगों ने 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 ले लेना दो पत्ता मेरा इन्हीं लोगों ने ले लेना दो पत्ता मेरा चैन न जाने दर्द न जाने दिल को बस दिल को पहचाने मिला जो संग तेरा पूरा पतंग मेरा हवा में हो के मलंग मैं छोड़ा ही घर
Kaieteur Radio, a radio with a difference. 44 minutes after 10 o'clock, sharp now, thank them later. We got our friends over there at Venus Footwear. They're located at 110 Regent Street, Lazytown, Georgetown. At Venus Footwear, they cater for every occasion. But it's a work, school, even a casual outing, so check them out today, alright?
कटोरे सुरमा बटोरे लग दे छोरे बड़े हाय फाय दिल पे दर्राती साटे चले जाती मारे दिल गुलाटी पूछ वाहे वाहे चाय में डूबा बिस्कुट हो गया मैं तो एवे 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 रुठ गया मैं तो एवे 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 रुठ गया
Girl, you're my chammak challo. We go, girl, I'm gonna follow. What you want, girl, just let me know. Oh, you can be my chammak challo.
Shawty, I'm gonna get ya. You know I'm gonna get ya. You know I'll even let you be my chammak challo. कैसा शर्माना आजा नच के दिखा दे. आ मेरी हो गए आजा मारे दागे दागे. आ मेरी अखियों से अखियां मिला दे. आ तू ना नखरे दिखा. Wanna be my chammak challo. Oh oh. Wanna be my chammak challo. Oh oh. Wanna be my chammak challo. Oh oh. Wanna be my chammak challo. Oh oh.
सारी की सारी दुनिया भुला के मैं तो तेरे नाल नचना.
Oh, you could be my one and only. मैं तो तेरे नाल नचना.
Then I see you looking at me. आजा बात कर ले दिल की.
होने लगेंगे अफसाने.
You know it, so sing it. Now pull your hands up and say.
इसको दीवाने. आहा, आहा. Oh, इसको दीवाने. आहा, आहा.
पान में पुदीना देखा नाक का नगीना देखा चिकनी चमेली देखी चिकना कमीना देखा जानने चिंडोरा होके चीट किया तो सारे तारे बोले गिरी गिरी अप्पा पप्परा परा पप्परा परा पप्परा परा पररा पररा पप्परा परा पप्परा परा पप्परा परा पररा. मेरी बात तेरी बात ज्यादा बोले बुरी बात थाली में कटोरा लेके आलू बात बोली बात मेरे पीछे किसी ने रिपीट किया तो साला मैंने तेरे मुंह पे मारा मुक्का. पप्परा परा पप्परा परा पप्परा परा पररा पररा पप्परा परा पप्परा परा पप्परा परा पररा. इस पे भूत कोई चढ़ा है ठहरना जानना. अब तो क्या भला क्या बुरा है फर्क पहचानना. जिद पकड़ के खड़ा है कम वक्त छोड़ना जानना. बदतमीज दिल बदतमीज दिल बदतमीज दिल माने ना बदतमीज दिल बदतमीज दिल बदतमीज दिल माने ना. ये जो हाल है सवाल है कमाल है जाने ना बदतमीज दिल बदतमीज दिल बदतमीज दिल माने ना बदतमीज दिल बदतमीज दिल बदतमीज दिल माने ना.
तू हो गई वन टू टू ओ कुड़िए वन टू टू ओ हो गई मुंडे दी रुतु 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 पतंगा वर्गी तू एवे उड़गी ओ हो गई मुंडे दी रुतु 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 हिलाते चल दी टुक टुक कर दी मेकअप तो कर दिया अंग्रेजी पढ़ दी खिप तो कर दी चिमक कोई नहीं साटी दे कटोरिया तू कंटी बिग बैंड दी पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा ओ जतो नच बैंड दी पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा. डीजे वाले बाबू मेरा गाना चला दो. डीजे वाले बाबू मेरा गाना चला दो. डीजे वाले मेरा गाना तो चला दे. थोड़ी वॉल्यूम ऊंची दे दे थोड़ा बेस तो बढ़ा दे. डीजे वाले बाबू मेरा गाना चला दो. डीजे वाले बाबू मेरा गाना चला दो. डीजे वाले बाबू मेरा गाना चला दो. डीजे वाले बाबू मेरा गाना चला दो.
एक एक ठुमके पे 100 तालियां हिले जब लक तेरा हिलती है बालियां. एक एक ठुमके पे 100 तालियां हिले जब लक तेरा हिलती है बालियां.
24 घंटे मुंडे रहने मेरे आगे पीछे मेरे आगे पीछे मेरे आगे पीछे.
जब हाई हील्स पे नचे ता तू बड़ी जचे. हाई हील्स पे नचे ता तू बड़ी जचे. बेबी कहते कि झुमके लगा दे 4 ठुमके छिछोरे नाते जमके रे. चुराना मेरा जिया गोरिया चुराना मेरा जिया गोरिया चुराना मेरा जिया गोरिया चुराना मेरा जिया
This is where we gotta pull the curtains down on Subah Pyar. This is Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and the 99.5 FM. And you all the best. Join us tomorrow, Thursday, for your Thursday edition. Enjoy the rest of the day, everybody.
ऐसी रातों में ऐसी बातों में क्यों बहकाए आशिक तेरा पिया गोरिया है आशिक तेरा पिया गोरिया चुराना मेरा जिया गोरिया चुराना मेरा जिया चुरा के दिल मेरा गोरिया चली उड़ा के निंदिया कहाँ तू चली
चुरा के दिल तेरा गोरिया चले मुझे क्या पता कहाँ मैं चली ओ मंजिल मेरी बस तू ही तू मंजिल मेरी बस तू ही तू तेरी गली में चली
चुरा के दिल मेरा गोरिया चली
चुरा के दिल तेरा चली मैं चली
तू होया है मेरा कन सुनना चाहते ना तेरा तू अज तो होया है मेरा कन सुनना चाहते ना तेरा मैनू सुपने आंदे ने वे तू चढ़िया फिरदा कोई तेरी मेरी अड़िया वे लगू टिच बटना दी जोड़ी तेरी
is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
With your news in capsule, I'm Kevin Smith. The environmental permit for the Eliza Phase 1 project explicitly states that Stabroek Block operator ESSO, along with its partners, must provide evidence that they, as well as their parent companies, would cover all costs associated with the cleanup of an oil spill offshore. Based on the disclosures of the EPA, Guyana has only received insurance coverage from the subsidiaries, which stands at $600 million per oil spill event. Discussions are still underway regarding the guarantee to be had from the parent companies. In light of not being furnished with the evidence that the companies are in compliance with the insurance provisions of their permit, two concerned Guyanese citizens have approached the courts to compel them to do so. The litigants who have filed the case are Frederick Collins and Godfrey White. And also making headlines, New York lawyer warns local content in evil state can inflame tensions and fuel lopsided distribution of wealth. Patterson says no study would justify $2 billion gas to energy project. With a rapid pace of oil production, IMF urges Guyana to address institutional weaknesses and diversify economy. Man on electric motorbike killed in accident with truck. Opposition leader tells Canadian radio program political census needed on large projects and says coalition ready to work with government. And that's the news at the moment. Thank you for listening.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Guyana, join me on the Glenn Lal Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Glenn Lal Show only on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
The time has now moved on to 11 hours to in Guyana. Coming up next, the September 26th edition of the Glenn Lal Show. Of course, this is a rebroadcast. You can catch Glenn Lal every 19 hours 20, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and a rebroadcast of the show at 11 a.m. the following day.
A special namaste to you. I love you guys. Oh boy, I love it. I love it. I love it. Every day that goes by, Josh, I love this. I'm getting more and more to love what I do here on this program. Lots of people, you know, meeting you on the road, meeting you here, there, and everywhere. And they're so much in love listening to this program. You know, I feel sometimes my head wants to drop off with the praises, you know. But, and you know, I never like these type of kudos. I like to be simple. My job, my duty, my purpose is only to enlighten and educate as many people as possible. How much I know. You know, I always believe in wisdom and knowledge, education. It's one of the greatest gifts we can give. So, you know, Saturday, I had mistress if she's not going to the cricket. And she said, Glenn, a mere look at the jerseys with the ExxonMobil sign upsets her. I laughed and said, you listen to my Friday night program? And she said, no. She said, no. She's just offended seeing the name ExxonMobil plastered all over the cricket ground and on the TV screens. I thought, was me alone felt that way? You know, Josh. Then 2 hours later, I saw 3 young ladies, 2 wearing the jerseys and 1 without. So I asked the one why she's not wearing the same thing like her 2 friends. And she said, I listened to your program and I will never wear it. You know, I smiled and said, you have made my day, girl. I felt good. At least At least you see when you can open the eyes of people what they're doing.
Yes. Uh-huh.
She would have heard me saying, wearing those jerseys, ExxonMobil is raping you or raping you with those clothes on. Joshua,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, there are some mind-boggling stories and events happening in our country daily that makes me smile, makes me angry, makes me wonder. And I know many of you people are left in the dark as to these stories. Doing this program every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I thought about it, and I think I am compelled to share some of them with you as I see fit, as they go along. Just before I get into the meat of tonight's topic, Uncle and Auntie, this is one of them. A few days ago, a 22-year-old Iranian girl was arrested not for wearing her hijab correctly, her face and headwear. You know what these Muslims wear? She wasn't wearing it correctly. I never knew, Raj, that you had something called morality police who walk around just to ensure that women are dressed appropriately in keeping with the Islamic rules. I never knew that. That one shocked me. The young lady apparently didn't have on her hijab right, was arrested, and they took her to the police station and beat her to death. That has sparked countrywide protests across Iran as we speak. The protests also hit the entire Europe and many parts of North America, where women are burning the hijabs and cutting off their hair in defiance of that rule or the Islamic law. They just reported, before I came on this radio, over 50 people lose their lives due to the ongoing protests in Iran, denouncing the brutality and the killing of that young girl. Despite countrywide protests, Uncle and Auntie, the president of Iran is calling on the police to enforce the law, and he has also shut off the internet service all over Iran. That wouldn't help him or help the situation, Uncle. How long this protest will go on, we will have to wait and see. But it is something for all of us to take note on. And it irked me a little looking at these news items with stories like that. That's the first one I share with you. I want to share and give you another update on the boat that capsized with 150 Lebanese off the coast of Syria heading to Europe. They recovered the bodies of 94 men, women, and children so far, and they are still searching for the rest. All in search of a better life from Lebanon because of corrupt leaders that bankrupted the whole entire country. Many rich countries in the world are in turmoil, heading for bankruptcy due to corrupt, crooked, and selfish leaders, forcing their people to starvation. In addition, these kind of leaders, through their actions and policies, are making this world, yes, this same world we live in, a more dangerous place with all these floods, droughts, heat waves and famine that causes poor countries to become more poor. Guyana is already heading into a crisis with both the corrupt leaders and destructive policies on our hands coming from our politicians. The fishing industry disappear. It gone because of the oil operation. And now, food crops is fast burning away with the flaring of the gas out there. I want to tell you guys more to come on this same burning of our crops. Yes, some of my reporters are doing an investigative piece on it. And if you guys have any information, you can call us 624-6456 or 622-2222. Friday, Winston Brasington, the lead man for the 2 billion Wales gas to shore project, Anil Nandalal, Vikram Bharat, and others had a meeting at the West Bank, on the West Bank of Demerara, not West Bank Essequibo Borbis, on the West Bank of Demerara, with the residents to tell them that they will be paid for the land that the pipeline has to pass through. When my reporter approached Winston Brasington, if you see how he duck and hide, the reporter said, I just want to ask you 2 questions, sir. He said, no, ask the minister. When she got to Minister Vikram, he said, we're here to talk about the land. She told him, but you guys haven't held any press conferences on this project, and I really want to talk to you. He said, no, we are only here to talk about the land. Yes, we're here to talk to the residents about the land. When she approached Anil Nandalal, he tells she, man, send all the questions to he gonna try his best to answer them. The Attorney General. He tried to save the day with the reporter. The Minister Vikram, who is in charge of the project, and the lead project manager, Winston Brasington, running and hiding from the reporter, who simply wants some information on the 2 billion project. Yes, that 2 billion project that would sink Guyana further into debts. Them who in charge of the project running from the press and leaving poor Anil Nandalal, who know about that, to address issues that doesn't fall under him. Is this mind-boggling? It tickles you, uncle? It made you smile? Or are you angry? That is one of the stories I want to share tonight to make you smile. You want to hear the next one? A group of workers employed with a mining company in the gold fields closed off for the day and headed to their camps. One of the workers, a 37-year-old guy, decided to make a beeline and went to an old gold pit, one that don't walk out, to make a hustle. All his co-workers heard was a huge scream. By the time they reached there, he was covered. The mining pit had collapsed on him, and by the time they dig him out, he was with our Maker. I don't know how you feel or what you're thinking about what I just tell you there. All I can say, it is sad, very sad, that the need of a brother forced him to go back alone to make a hustle for his family and died in such a tragic fashion or manner in a rich, rich country like Guyana, the fastest growing economy on earth. You really think, Uncle, if he was making a decent wage working with that company, he would have gone back alone into a gold pit that already worked out to make a hustle? I leave the rest to you. Let me give you one more before we get to the heart of tonight's program. The milking cow. By now you guys got to know that. The milking cow, the CJIA airport, done add another 170 million American dollars to our $3 billion debt we have. And since it was handed over, every couple weeks, the Ministry of Public Works putting out contracts upon contracts to do that and to do this, to do so many things on that piece of garbage they call the international airport. Yes, them said they renovate, and it's a modernized airport. Yeah. Several contracts they don't put out. I'm ashamed to report all these things on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday program. I'm tired of talking about it. If you all get a true leader in this land, some of them would spend the rest of their lives behind bars for what they are doing to us. Everything they're doing to us. Donald Trump. Donald Trump is no different from Jack Dale. And Jack Dale is no different from Donald Trump. They are two of a kind. One of them is endangering the United States, and the other is strangling Guyana. Donald Trump's words and actions has already endangered America and by extension the world. He took away plenty top secret documents. Top secret documents with him when he left office. And when he was questioned, he told the American people, as a matter of fact, when he was questioned by the FBI, by the media, he told the American people that the documents he carried away was all declassified by him and they were all legal to take home. When the FBI searched his home, they found many top secret documents which was never declassified or made legal by him or any other president of the United States. When he was confronted, Uncle, when he was confronted by the media that there are no records of the process in which the document he carried away was made legal, I love the answer he gave. The answer he gave still have me wondering if this man was really leading this world when he was the President of the United States. Uncle, he told the media that by just thinking of it, he declassified them all and made them legal. By just thinking of it, he declassified them all and made them legal. That was the best answer I ever heard from a man's mouth. A man only think about something. You hear me? Just think about something and automatically it's done. It's law. You can take it home. It's good to be removed. Am I head good? I wonder if Glenlal used his standard of thinking. I am thinking that this oil contract is a very bad thing and it must be changed. Is it changed? Uncle, I'm just thinking it should be changed. Please find out if it changed and tell me, because I think it must be changed. Just like how Donald Trump think By just thinking, he changed the process. We will see, Uncle, where Trump will end up with that same secret papers he carried away from the White House and justifying with that flimsy Nancy story about how he think about and made it legal. Our Vice President words and actions is no different from Donald Trump. I read the clause in the contract and show him the oil company financials. I also read for him the clause that give Guyana the right to monitor the oil spendings on a monthly basis. And he's still disputing that with your own Nancy story. He told me on the radio that the gas to shore project at Wales does not have any private investors. You guys would have heard him. 2 days after, I carried a full-blown story in the Kaieteur News showing the whole country that the government advertised for investors in that project. Is that a Nancy story? Or is that a blatant lie from Bara Jagdeo? Remember, Uncle, your oil profits will be lessening every day that goes by, paying back for that project. Keep your eyes, ears and minds on this project all the time. They will take our clothes off and leave us naked with that Wales project. Jagdeo did promise us, you guys heard him, on the same radio program to make the contract arrangements public when or if the gas project comes on stream with the private players. You guys heard him. I wonder if he's giving us a Donald Trump with these contracts. It's the same thing he keep on promising with those gold, diamond, and bauxite contracts and some of the oil reports. Guyana is still waiting to see them. Maybe he think he done it already, just like Donald Trump. I also wonder if ExxonMobil take a page out of Donald Trump's book and think too that Guyana has full liability coverage and it's done. I'm just asking the question, if ExxonMobil is thinking like Donald Trump and think that they give us full liability coverage without any legal process or documentation in our hands to prove that they give us full liability coverage in the event of an oil spill. Is that what Jagdeo thinks too? Huh? Thank you for coming, Bernard. Is that what Jagdeo thinks too? And wants us to think too? Well, you got to laugh, Uncle, when you hear and see how these people behave. They talk and think, Bernard. They talk and think. Nobody else, Uncle, nobody else are more happy than Glenn Lal. When the Kaieteur News reported on Sunday that Melinda Janki, a lady I regard as a hero, stepped up once again to take the fight to the government and ExxonMobil. Man, I was extremely happy. She was the one, if you don't remember, that took the EPA to court and won a decision that reversed the 20-year permit approval to its lawful limit, which is 5 years. Yes, she was the lady that took them to court for that. Last week, Friday, she and a senior counsel of Trinidad named Sinat Jairam filed another heavyweight matter in our courts. This time, they are asking the court on behalf of two Guyanese, Fred Collins and Godfrey White, to ensure that our EPA, who is responsible for protecting Guyana in the event of a well blowout or an oil spill, uncle, to do what is required. Yes. In the court documents they filed, the lawyers are asking the court to compel EPA to produce, to show Guyana or show the court a true copy of the insurance required under the environmental permit issued to ExxonMobil. You hear that, Bernard? I love that, man.
Wonderful.
Not only that, they're asking for a true copy of that. They're also asking the court to have the EPA show us everything in detail as to how Guyana is protected from a disaster, from an oil spill. You hear that? Just like me and you, uncle, we want to see the amount of money that the insurance policy covers. Who are the insurance companies? And if they have the money to take care of the insurance policy they give Guyana. Yes. Or give us. The lawyers went further to demand that EPA release all the documents showing that the parent companies of EEPGL will handle or take on anything above and beyond the damages what the insurance companies cannot handle. I love that. I love that. They're asking to see the documents from the parent company, uncle. Yes, and I love it. They also want to see the parent company's bank book to see if they are in a position to really handle and pay if there's a well blowout. The two lawyers in their court findings did not only show concerns for Guyana alone, uncle, but they also included the Caribbean. Yes, this whole region. Everything is in the court document. As I have been saying all along, it's not only Guyana that will be destroyed in the event of an oil spill, but the entire region. And here we have it now. It's before the court. Bernard, you know they have a saying, God works slow, but God works are sure. And I couldn't be more happy to see that this most dangerous national and regional environmental issue is now before our courts. Cheers, guys. Cheers to all four of you people. I only wish we had more Guyanese and trainees like these people safeguarding our region. It's only 2 Tuesdays ago I raised this issue about insurance with our Vice President Jagdeo, and he was making mockery and jiggery-puggery of this grave issue to this region. I have a piece of that tape that I want to play. Could you play that piece of tape so that you guys can listen to the jiggery-puggery he was telling me? Go ahead.
So that means the company, if the 600 million is inadequate to handle the event, and they say a spill, and they then refuse to meet their obligations, the EPA then can dispose of the $6 billion in assets. Right? So
can we move
that
on,
is
sir?
No. I just wanted you to know that.
I hear you.
That's important. That's an important point. Not 55 million.
I hear
$1.2 trillion of assets.
I hear you clearly. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I hear you clearly, man. You know, when the man was talking there, you know, you don't want to get into any argument with him, you know. But I'm so happy that I could hear him, and the people could hear him. Yep. You know, you hear how I responded to him? Yep. He he is boasting and selling all of us a story how the oil company have what? 600 million US insurance policy. And if that is not enough, then they have 6 billion American dollars in asset that EPA can seize and sell to pay for the damages. Man, you know, here I was saying, you know, this man got to be out of his mind and living in a world by himself, uncle. He should not trust, none of us should trust this man to look out for us, look out for our interests. First, I want to tell you, uncle, all of you, the Gulf of Mexico oil spill in 2010 caused by British Petroleum Oil Company, man, it cost them over 70 billion American dollars. And they are still spending to this day as I speak to correct that spill. And part of the court document, Melinda Janki and Jairam sign, mention it too. Hear that? The same document, they mention it too.
Yes.
But let's deal with Jagdeo words. What he's selling this country, the 600 million asset, the 6 billion assets he's telling us that the oil company own out there, uncle, is we own it. Guyana oil money must have already paid out for most of it. You know that 75% coming out up front before the 25% is split between the two of us? Yes. Yes. That is what we're paying for. So for Jagdeo to tell us that they have 6 billion assets out there we can seize and sell to fix damages is already our property, uncle. So what you're seizing? What you're seizing? You're seizing something that belonged to Guyana to pay for an oil spill? You see what kind of clever and dangerous game this man is playing with our livelihood and that of our future auntie? Huh? Allow me to play another line from the same song that Jagdeo was singing. He was asked if we are fully covered by the parent company of Exxon Guyana. Just listen carefully what he had to say. Could you play that tape?
So if you check, the permit holder shall have insurance of such type and in such amount as is customary in the international petroleum industry in accordance with good oil field practices in progress in respect of loss or damage to assets, pollution, loss or damage to property, or bodily injuries suffered by third party, liability to the permit holder's employees, and such other requirements which may be made. Right? The permit holder must, as soon as reasonably practicable, provide parent company or affiliate company guarantees to the EPA undertaking to provide adequate financial resources for the permit holder and its co-venturers to pay or satisfy their environmental obligations. These were in all four of the licenses.
So you're saying that the parent company is supposed to to give a guarantee. No. It's there. It's there, but no. But we do not have a signed document that states that the parent company of Sinok, Hess, and Exxon will take on full liability in the event of an oil spill.
Yes.
That's very clear.
So
because
Glenn,
you have been asking,
yes,
up to as recent for up to $2 billion coverage from the oil companies.
Yes. So that is what has been negotiated, and that is the guarantee that the parent companies said that they will do.
That is what the parent companies say they will do.
Did they sign the document?
You hear me? That is the parent company say they gonna do. That was the answer he gave when I asked the question about insurance, full cover insurance from the parent company. He read out straight from the EPA permit what Guyana is entitled to from the oil companies in the event of an oil spill. But when I asked him about the parent company's guarantee that he himself read, he told us that that is what has been negotiated, and that is the guarantee that the parent company said that they will do. Uncle, word of mouth or negotiation and guarantee of what someone say they will do can't go to court or go to the bank if it's not put in writing. Mamu, you have no case. And that is what Jagdev is telling us there. What Guyana needs is written proof, uncle and auntie. When you listen to this man, Bernard, trust me, Guyana can never, ever get any justice and security where this oil business is concerned. I am so happy that them two lawyers took it upon themselves to go to court last week, Friday, to ask the court that Guyana see the written proof of full liability coverage. We all need to see it in writing that we are protected and covered, uncle. Not what someone at Exxon is saying they will do and Jagdev repeating it. No. It must be in writing, and that is what Guyana doesn't have in our hands as yet. I was listening carefully. If he would have said, we already had that signed document. He just read word for word what a permit requires. And part of it was that the permit holder, listen what the permit holder must as soon as reasonable, practicable, provide parent company or affiliate company guarantees to the EPA. Undertaking to provide adequate financial resources for the permit holder and its co-ventures to appear to satisfy their environmental obligations. Yes. This is what the lawyers want to see, Mr. Jagdev. That same thing you read there. The parent or the affiliate company guarantees. Yes. We all want to see those things that you read about there that I repeat in writing, Mr. Jagdev. Bernard, this is the man supposed to protect Guyana and this region. He is holding our future in his hands. Uncle, y'all please listen to what this man is telling Guyana. Listen carefully how jumbled up and mixed up he makes everything to confuse y'all, and at the same time shielding and protecting, defending the oil companies, especially ExxonMobil. You have another tape, play it. Yeah.
The thing is that if it's understanding this issue, EEP
GL
is a Guyanese registered
company, correct?
They have the permit from the EPA. So this Guyanese registered company has a permit from the EPA. There are 3 investors that own this company. Okay? Sinuk, Hess, and Exxon. They own the company. So the company now has gotten a permit from the EPA and they have to meet all their obligations to clean up any spill or any other environmental liability. This company has taken out $600 million per event insurance. So that company is paying for that. Secondly, this company has assets valued $6 billion. So assuming it fails to meet the $600 million, can't address a spill, to clean it up or meet all of its liabilities, the Guyanese public or the EPA has called on their assets of $6 billion. Now the parent guarantee is for financial resources, because that's assets that they have in the FPSOs and the other fixed assets, immovable assets. The parent guarantee is just to provide the financial resources in that period so that they don't have to liquidate their assets to deal with any oil spill. So the parent companies are not paying for the oil spill. They're not operating in Guyana. The parent companies, EPGL, is the operator and the owner of the assets. They have the permit. So the investors, their liabilities, they have agreed on top of EPGL insurance and on top of its assets that they're going to layer this with a $2 billion basically cash flow so that the company has money immediately to deal with any environmental liability.
Yes. Whew. Everything you heard him say there, Uncle. I don't know how to really. You guys understand what you understand what the man said just now?
Not a single word.
Huh? You have to dissect this man. This is why you have to dissect this man, right? I think if I play the thing 50 times, the people of this country will not understand what this man is saying. Something as a simple question as, this country have insurance or not? Are we protected or not? You know, the three investors he talked about own the permit, he said. And they're the ones who have to take all the responsibility to deal with an oil spill. Yes, the three people, the three local registered company. He said them not got to take the responsibilities. He said they have the 600 million, Uncle. They have the 600 million insurance. And if that cannot handle or deal with the oil spill, yes, the parent companies will step in and give us a $2 billion to avoid selling out we own assets. He was very clear as to what role the parent companies play in this whole oil business in Guyana, Uncle. You hear that? He was clear there. Other than the $2 billion US that he keep talking about, that the parent companies said they will throw in to help clean up an oil spill, there's nothing else they are responsible for, Bernard. Or there's nothing else we can hold them to. They are completely clear out of this thing. Jagdeo made it clear there just now that the permit was issued to the three midget companies out there and not the parent companies. So these guys are completely out of any responsibility. And down to the $2 billion US he talked about, we still don't have that guarantee from them in writing. You hear that? You gotta listen. You gotta listen carefully to the man. Right? Uncle, let me put this thing in a little nutshell for you to understand clear what's going on there. It's like my daughter operating Kaieteur News for me, and she signed an agreement with the staff. God forbid, a costly situation arises, which I, Glenlal, say, y'all don't bring that issue to me. I have nothing to do with that. Go deal with she. Take her to court. And guess what, Bernard? She owns nothing, and I have no responsibility to the staff for nothing. All I had promised is in the event of anything happen, I will give them a $200,000 without any signed document. You hear that? That's what Jagdev telling us in a nutshell. And that is what exactly will happen. You know, I am so happy that Jagdev cleared the air with his own mouth. I have been talking over and over on several programs about this same thing, how Guyana and the region find themselves at the mercy of God Almighty if and when an oil spill occurs. You know, Bernard, could you tell Raj, he's not looking at me and not hearing me. Could you too tell him to play the 4th tape for me now, man? Play it.
So if you check, the permit holder shall have insurance of such type and in such amount as is customary in the international petroleum industry in accordance with good oil field practices in progress in respect of loss or damage to assets, pollution, loss or damage to property, or bodily injuries suffered by third party, liability to the permit holder's employees, and such other requirements which may be made. Right? The permit holder must, as soon as reasonably practicable, provide parent company or affiliate company guarantees to the EPA undertaking to provide adequate financial resources for the permit holder and its co-venturers to pay or satisfy their environmental obligation.
Should satisfy us with parent company guarantee. That's what the law said. And Jagdev read the you from his own mouth. Like I said, I am so happy that Melinda Janki and Senior Counsel Jairam moved to the court to get the EPA to comply with all the provisions of the permit they issue to EEPGL for Liza 1 project. I'm so happy. I was even more delighted, Bernard, when I saw them asking the court to have the EPA produce the guarantee from the parent and affiliate companies that Jagdev said they are not part of. One side of Jagdev's mouth, the EPA said full liability from the parent company, and the other side, the man said they are not responsible. You hear that? Which side this man really on, man? Who he is defending? Huh? And how many more sides of his mouth he got? Huh? When you know they're saying, Bernard, when you begin your life with a lie, you got to continue lying throughout your life. You just heard him, uncle. You just heard him say what the individual obligations of the local registered oil company and the parent companies are. You heard him. He just talked about it. You know, Bernard, something occurred to me listening over to his interview. And I have not noticed Jagdev never once addressed EEPGL as the subsidiary of CNOOC, Hess, or ExxonMobil. I didn't hear him use the word at all. For whatever reason, he kept on saying locally registered oil company and not subsidiary of the parent companies. Is there something he's protecting there again? Huh? Yes, and I was supposed to double check that and I forgot. I don't know the answer to that though. Why isn't he saying they're the subsidiaries of ExxonMobil? Why is he calling them locally registered company? I don't know the answer, uncle, but I would like to repeat. Nothing comes out of this man's mouth you should trust, or it has a purpose that would really benefit me and you in this country. Nothing. Remember what I said? A man start out his life with a lie, then the only thing that's rolling off his tongue is a barrage of lies. You remember, Bernard? I asked Jack Dale, if I win the tax case against Exxon and the government, what would be his reaction? You remember what he said? He said he's on nobody's side, uncle. So if I was to ask him which side he is on with this new insurance case brought on by Melinda Janki and Jairam, what answer y'all think he would give? He on Guyana side or the Exxon Mobil side, Bernard? Do I have to turn on the lights for you people to see his mouth with the answer he's going to give, uncle? I don't think so. I learned 4 things today about life. 1, you can't make real friends with fake people. 2, sit back and observe and realize that not everything needs a reaction. 3, learn to trust your instinct. If something doesn't feel right about a person or a situation, you don't waste time trying to correct or deny it. And the 4th one, the older you get, the less you feel the need to be included, understood, or accepted. Man, it's so true, eh? I read it this afternoon and say I have to share it with my audience tonight. I love it, uncle. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Tomorrow